this E3, full of surprises, full of things that we did not see coming. How about a strategic Mario and Rabbids squad-based game? Did you see that coming?
I did not see that coming.
I did not see it coming.
Right from the blind side.
Boom. And yet, like a monkey throwing a grenade, I
Yes.
did not see it coming,
Nice
but I
tie-in.
loved it when it happened. Right now, we have got Zevi, who is the lead producer on Mario plus Rabbids. Mario plus Rabbids.
It's the first title in a long time I can remember that has math in it.
Yeah, it's it was a surprise we wanted to make first in the title. So Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It's cool, right?
Yeah.
No?
Oh, let me tell you something. The first screenshot came out of Rabbid Princess and Princess Peach, and I cackled, audibly cackled, and was so ready to see the game. And then I was 100% surprised by the gameplay. I would have thought, with the Rabbids pedigree, I was like, oh, well, this is kind of like a Mario Party meets Rabbids thing. This will be like a fun party game. And then you sideswipe me with an XCOM.
Yes. It was part of the surprise as well. So, you know, since the beginning, we wanted to do something, very surprising because, you know, the Rabbids are surprising themselves. And so I remember very well the first meeting we did in Japan, in Kyoto, when we met Mr. Miyamoto and his team. And
No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
casually.
Nothing more than just a meeting. And basically we went in and we felt like we had this strong turn-based aspect idea, and the Rabbids were bringing this craziness and just riding to the action. And it worked. And he said, hey, this is different, you know, it's fresh. I never saw that in that way. Even at the prototype level, it was already quite strong. And since then, we've been working on adding more and more strategy, more weapons, more craziness, more maps, everything. So it's been an adventure.
Yeah, let's take a look at the trailer that you guys ran during your press conference, because it is absolutely unbelievable. And
Thanks.
when you decided, I mean, how do you decide that it is a squad-based tactical Mario Rabbids? How?
Who's got that idea in the stone?
Who's like,
to
I
take
have
that
it.
to Nintendo?
Yeah.
Well, it's coming right away from the team. You know, we love turn-based gaming, and we felt that if we had to do something surprising, we had to go the way that, you know, we love those games. So what about, you know, doing this kind of game as well? And so for us, it's a lot of references from game we love, and we're super happy to show, you know, a new approach, a fresh approach to turn-based gaming, and so we're super proud of that. You know, it's we believe that first it was different, and today, from the reaction of everyone, like, it works.
I love the look on Mario's face when he's handed his arm cannon. He just looks like so overjoyed to have an arm cannon, and I love it.
So he's like, he has a cannon, he has a hammer. Like, with his hammer, we don't see it here, but later on in the game, he can use a hammer and just destroy all the enemies around. And he looks super badass, you know. He looks in to the enemy's eyes and he's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. But it's all about fun, you know. Those guns are crazy. We even have side effects like burn. You can freeze enemy. You can ink them. You can even put honey on their feet and they can't move anymore. So it's all about just complete fun, and we went full throttle.
Now, we're seeing in the trailer, I mean, some environments that obviously look familiar. They look similar to Mario environments and Rabbids environments that we've seen before, but are they new? Are they pulled from classic games?
So it's totally new. So basically, when the Rabbids arrived in the Mushroom Kingdom, they destroyed everything. Aside the Peach Castle and some other stuff we have in the game, but I don't want to spoil because it's at the end of the game.
Okay.
Basically, everything is totally new. It's a mix between some elements from the real world with elements from Mario's world. So we wanted to have those references, but it's totally new.
And you brought some gameplay as well that I want to show off, so we can run that. So
I mean, this is two amazing universes to collide. And the interesting thing for me was, coming from a background where I was mainly a Xbox/PC gamer, so I don't have a strong background with Mario or Rabbids. So honestly, this was not hugely on my radar until I saw what you guys showed off this year. And now I'm all in. Like, I want this now because I'm a huge fan of that genre, and you guys have really found a way to make both of those properties now much more relevant to me than they ever were before. Was that kind of a hard thing to mix these two together?
Of course, it was a challenge, that's for sure. But we knew it from the beginning at the start. You know, we knew that if we had to do a game with Mario, it would be a big challenge in terms of what we had to respect, what we had to do in terms of, you know, Mario games are super accessible, Rabbids games as well, but it needs to be as well with a genre and this type of game that sometimes, you know, it can be a lot of UI, a lot of text, and a lot of explanation and stats. And we have depth, but we did it in a way that it looks accessible. It's direct into the action, and we see here, you know, it's all about contextual actions, combo, domino effects. But of course, behind you have all those statistics, depending on the weapon you have, the cover, depending on the enemy, depending on your hero, depending on the techniques you're using. So for us, it was a good thing to start first with something accessible, and as the adventure progresses, you start to have more and more of that. And we felt it was a good way to do it, between accessibility but also having depth. And it was a big challenge, but we're pretty happy with what we have today.
You've already kind of showed off the ability to kind of a combo jump attack, where you have one character lay down and then springboard another character towards the enemies. Are there other combos that we can expect?
So at first you start doing, for example, in your moving phase, you can go in pipes, you can use your teammate to do the team jump. But then you start to learn what we see here, the dash. So it's not because you're moving that you cannot do damage. So even in your moving phase, you can dash the enemy, then do a team jump, then go. Or, for example, you go in a pipe, dash the enemy, team jump. And later on in the game, you can double team jump, triple dash. You can team stomp with Mario. So you start to add up, you know, all those elements, and it's really fun to play with that.
So we're seeing sort of an overworld structure where we sort of go into these different arenas where the battles pop up. Are these paths that are branching? Do we have decisions as to where we're going to go within the Mushroom Kingdom?
So the way we want it to work is, you know, we have this adventure that goes on, chapter after chapter, because we have chapters in the game, and it's a chapter has multiple fights. And what you do is basically you start to have some branch out, some secret chapters that you need to find, but it's not mandatory. You can also have puzzles bringing you to new places as well. But we wanted to focus on this experience. You know, here what we see, for example, is in Chapter 4, it's Battle 2. In Battle 1, you learn stuff. In Battle 2, we challenge you on what you learned. So, for example, the pipes. And that's something we wanted to keep in the end, you know, having this progression. So, of course, you have this approach that is really important for us, but then we branch out in exploration mode with those puzzles and stuff that you can discover. And things you can discover are super good weapons. So it's good to explore and potentially find new weapons that have new effects as well. And it's going to go quite crazy in terms of effects.
So we're seeing some different blocks, different types of cover that have elemental effects. We just saw a fire block. What other kinds of variables are we going to see on these playing fields?
So you have burn, like we see here. We have push that push you. If you have, if you push an enemy and an enemy is behind you, he will be pushed as well. Then we have bounce.
Oh, look at that pipe surprise coming up. That's awesome.
That works well. It's flanking directly the enemy, and then he's on his back to do more damage. Because if you're positioned behind the enemy, it will do more damage.
Oh, and the pipe is cover too. That's great.
Yeah,
you can use that as cover.
So amazingly dynamic there, where you accomplished so much with the move that wasn't just a move.
Exactly, and if you like those kind of games, we don't have any steps. So it means that you can go and go back if you want to. So you can dash, team jump, and go back to where you were. So it means that quickly enemies will be in front of you, or you can be behind the enemy. So in this map, for instance, it goes super quick. You have multiple pipes. So in a few rounds already, you can be at the end part of the map. So that's something we wanted to really focus on for the action itself.
Well, traditionally with this type of game, you would normally have multiple kind of character classes or ways to modify them for specialty roles. Are you using the different characters in that regard, or is it something you can customize individual characters to your liking?
So each of them are, you know, flavors. So for example, Rabbid Peach is a really good healer, and later on in the game, she's also very good in terms of defense, and her dash damage is really high. Luigi that we get later on, well, this guy can shoot from very far, but his life point is really low. His team jump is really interesting, goes really far.
He's got that Mario too, Luigi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's the way we did it. And then we have the skill tree that we don't show here in the video, but basically the skill tree, you can upgrade your character the way you want and spend your orbs that we call into what you want. So more damage, team jump, etc., etc.
Look at this red coin puzzle right now. I love this.
It's
I love
cool, no?
Yeah, I
All the
love
references,
ways.
like,
Yeah. You're
and
doing
the-
such amazing things with like doing these callbacks to Mario mechanics, but presenting them within this genre that is
You know,
so
we're
wonderful.
big fans of Mario, so basically it was just a blast working on this. So yeah, we have the yellow coins, red coins, we even have blue coins in bug zones. So it was just something we really love working on.
So we picked up some new blasters. We're able to equip and change out our loadout. I love this.
So you see, those are basic weapons, so you only have few stats, few elements. Like Rabbid Luigi is a wizard type character, so you can. So this
That's a
guy-
sentence.
Yeah, and he can use a lot of weapons with different type of effects. Because normally each character can use specific effects, but this guy can use burn, ice, anything on all his weapons. It's a magical yo-yo, and and at the beginning, for example, he just equipped a weapon with vampire effect. So every time he's going to shoot at an enemy, he's going to steal life. But what is cool is that when an enemy is vampired, all the other characters can get life as well from the enemy itself. So it's like a life pool, and it works well. So he's an interesting character.
So Beepo is telling us about techniques.
Yeah,
Looks like we have every character has some special things that they can do.
exactly. So you move, you attack, and you do techniques.
Okay.
And for instance, Mario is way more offensive. So the first technique is Mario's hero sight.
As an Italian American, I agree with you.
Oh yeah, well,
No,
you
no.
know, he's really offensive. So, and basically, he can attack even if it's not his turn, which we showed yesterday. But his second technique is to boost the damage output of all the characters around in a certain zone. So he's really useful for dealing maximum damage.
Look at that scared green boy.
So this little guy is actually the cutest threat ever. He's responsible for all the enemies in the game
Oh no.
because he can fuse a white rabbit with something from Mario's universe.
Oh.
And here, Piranha Plant will be fused with this rabbit because every time he's scared, he's going to shoot at the source. And this time he's scared of the Piranha Plant rabbit, and he's going to transform those two guys into one. And it becomes the mid-boss.
Oh, but how do I stay mad at him?
You can't.
Look,
You
so
can't. What? Stop that! How dare you? How dare you, Xavier? That's adorable.
Thank you.
Why do I just want to hug it and fight it?
So we're about to see a boss fight here. We have a preparation phase.
Yep. So you can check, the movement range of your the enemies, of your guys. If you want to check back, you can see as well up to where they can shoot, so you can plan ahead. So this is something that players can do. Really analyze what they have in front of them, what they could do. But this mid-boss is surprising in itself because, first of all, he cannot be in cover. He's too big. So this guy can be shot from anywhere. He can also use an attack that we'll see in the video just after. He's burning everyone. So he's so much into burning that sometimes he can even burn himself. So he's unpredictable. And it's something important in this game as well. We wanted to bring unpredictability because those guys are rabbits. So sometimes they act in a way that you don't expect. So instead of thinking ahead 3, 4, 5 moves ahead, it's more about reacting to what is happening. So that's a big part of the game, reacting to what is happening on screen, depending on what they wanted to do.
Now I would assume, we're seeing this demo, which is going to take us through this boss battle. But I assume that you guys you're thinking about multiplayer. You're deciding how that's going to go. Can you tell us anything about multiplayer plans?
So it's a challenge, doing turn-based gaming with multiplayer. So what we decided to go for is to go for local multiplayer in what we call challenges. So we created completely new maps, and it challenged the player to play together. it's between 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes 35 minutes for more advanced maps. And those maps are there to challenge you into what you know from the single-player experience. So it's meant for you to play with your friend and see how you can communicate to finish. So for example, we have an objective in co-op that is double escort. You need to escort Toadette and Todd. So you need to reach your own zone, and then you can switch and then help your teammate, and then you have 4 heroes instead of 3. So we completely reworked, the approach we wanted to have for multiplayer.
And then as far as characters go, we're getting a couple questions, and if you guys have questions, remember to send them to us on Twitter, #YouTubeE3 or #RTE3. Can the characters have customized outfits? Are there things that we're going to unlock for these characters? Can we dress up our Rabbids?
No, we put all the focus on the weapons themselves.
Gotcha.
So we have specific weapons for each character.
I'm good with that. That's fine. No, yeah.
And then we obviously saw all of the traditional Mario characters in the trailer. We're just seeing Mario with some Rabbids here. Are characters things that you choose at the beginning? Are they unlocks? How are that's going to work?
So you start with Mario, and he's going to be your hero up until the end. And then you have Rabbid Peach and Rabbid Luigi, but those are just the first guys you get in your team, and then you unlock them throughout the adventure. Luigi is the one you unlock after this fight. It's not a spoil, we see it in the video. But for the other ones, it will be unlocked in, well, it could be a fight, could be somewhere else, so throughout the adventure.
Well, thank you so much for bringing it by. The game looks amazing.
Thank
and
you,
I am
guys.
so excited to get my hands on it.
What is the release date on it?
So end of August, so August 29th.
Oh, it's
So
soon. It's
Yeah.
soon.
This morning,
Bam.
I quote Ryan, what's coming out for the Twitch anytime soon?
Yeah,
The
well,
Switch.
okay, you found
Yeah.
something.
I found something.
And I'm on board.
Awesome. We're super excited.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, nice meeting you. We're going to throw it over to Mika and Ashley.
Mika, any squeals for this Nintendo property?
Obviously. Have you seen Rabbid Peach?
How many squeals out of squeals? Honestly, I'm kind of happy that they're not going to have too many costumes, simply because I don't need any more of that side eye from
Right?
Rabbid Peach.
Like, oh my goodness, what a shady little rabbit.
Man, she's whew,
Whew.
sassy.
I love it though.